All right, here we go. Let's get ripping. All right, here we go. Thanks for tuning in to the official Welcome to the Channel video. I'm Builderbu, and this is Builderbu Rips. So what's this all about, you say? Well, it's a card ripping channel. Essentially, it's videos of us breaking boxes, ripping open packs, and seeing what we got inside. Now, before we get too far, there's this existential question that I like to apply to almost everything I do, and that's purpose. So, what is your purpose for being in the hobby or wanting to join into the trading card hobby? The answer is going to be different for everybody. It's a pretty personal question, and there's no real right or wrong reason. That's all up to you of why you decided to join the hobby. As for me, the reason why I rejoined the hobby is because I saw my son ripping NBA cards, these Panini retail packs, and it reminded me of my childhood when I used to collect baseball cards like Donruss, Upper Deck, and some NHL Pro Set and Score and Upper Deck as well back in the 90s. Now, you just heard Pro Set and Upper Deck and 90s, and yes, that's the junk wax era. So basically, not to my surprise, like those cards are pretty much worthless, but for me, they bring along a lot of the memories. I can remember ripping those packs. I can remember getting an O. Nolan #1 draft pick card. So for me, that's where the value is enjoying ripping the packs and enjoying the hobby itself. So I also want to make a few bucks here and there, or at least recover some of what I'm putting into this so I can sustain myself throughout the hobby. And I'm sure my wife would love it if I actually made some money. But if your purpose is to enter this hobby and make money, then let's be honest, ripping single boxes probably is not going to do it for you. So here are a couple things that I've learned, or I think I've learned, about the hobby since rejoining, and it's taken me a little bit of time to get my bearings. So first off, there's a difference between a retail and a hobby box, and those of you who are pretty seasoned with the stuff are like, duh, right? So for viewers who are not familiar with the difference between retail and hobby, obviously hobby is going to be a little bit more expensive than the retail. Retail you can find at like your Walmart or Toys R Us, for example, whereas hobby boxes you'll only be able to find from hobby shops or pay a ridiculous price on eBay for them. Now, what's different about them? There are exclusive cards to both type of retail and hobby boxes. The hobby boxes, because it's a more expensive box, tend to have the more valuable cards in them. So like the rare lower numbered cards, or just obviously cards that you just can't get from the retail versions. So what do you expect if you buy a whole box as opposed to a loose pack? As a kid, I always bought loose packs. That was the way to go about it. That's all my lunch money could afford to get. Let's put it that way. But in one box of cards, you're pretty much guaranteed like a certain amount of hits. For example, like in a retail flagship series Upper Deck, there should be 6 Young Guns in there with a bunch of common inserts. They're retail, there generally is not too many exciting cards outside of that. Whereas the hobby, you'd have your 6 Young Guns and whatever hobby inserts apply to that specific series, and then 1 hit. No, so that's one box. So the reason why I mentioned just a few seconds earlier about if you really wanted to make money, then ripping single boxes probably isn't the way to go for you, and here's why. In one box, you have that certain amount of hits. These boxes come in a case. It depends on the product. It could be a case of 12, it could be a case of 20. And within that case, there's one case hit, so one really good card. So if you're ripping one of those 20 boxes, your chances is 1 out of 20 of getting that case hit. So if you're really serious about that, then you might consider buying a case, but that's really risky because what if your case hit is something like I don't know, an exclusive Pavel Regenda, right? That's not going to cover the cost of your case. But again, we're drifting into that money area. What I really want to get out of this channel is just the joy of ripping packs and enjoying the hobby. I want the hobby to be sustainable for you guys out there. And for part of that, you'll watch me rip these packs and either be super happy with what we get or super disappointed. Share with me in that gamut of emotions. So another thing I've discovered are group breaks, for better or worse, I guess. So what's a group break? Basically, a group of people pay X amount of money for a spot in whatever they're breaking. So it could be a case of something or just a mishmash of different types of boxes. Now there's different variations of them. Some of them get a little complicated even for me, but the most common one are random team breaks. So you buy a spot in this break and you get randomized a team, and whatever hits that get pulled from that break for that specific team that you got, you get to keep. Now before, especially for my younger viewers, before you go running out there and saying, Builderbu told me to join a break, no, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out that they exist. I also want to point out that probably my best cards have come out of breaks, but there is a huge risk that you can walk out of a break with nothing or just some common interest and totally wasn't worth your money. So I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm just pointing out that they exist. So speaking of things I got out of breaks, I've got these two Alexis Lafreniere, the 2020-21 The Cup auto patches. I've got a Cale Makar red ink Utica canvas, a clear cut, signed number 4 out of 8. And I've got a bunch of other cards in my collection that have come out of breaks. And this Tim Stutzel signature rookie materials from the Cup. That's one of our collection's prized possessions. And in one of my Team Canada Junior hobby boxes, I pulled this Connor Bedard FX, and that's a pretty tough pull. That's one of the prizes of my collection. And I do have a whole whack of Connor Bedard cards for my collection. I suspect that people entering the hobby now, that's going to be why, is they're going to chase Connor Bedard along with me. Okay, so what I want to close off with is I love ripping packs, but if you're out there and you're looking for a specific card, my suggestion is probably just to buy the single on eBay. You'll save yourself a ton of money that way. For example, I'm hunting Cole Caulfield Young Guns and Kirill Kaprizov Young Guns, and so far no luck. So that would be my suggestion. But at the same time, this channel's about ripping packs of hockey cards and whatever other hobby cards that will come our way. So let's get ripping. Oh, in case you're wondering about my shirt, Breakaway Sports Cards is my go-to place to shop for 98% of the cards that I buy. I love the store. Now I do have to point out I am not sponsored or affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. They're just my default hobby store that I go to. Now, for you viewers, obviously do your due diligence, go shop around and find yourself the lowest price. I'm very loyal to Breakaway Sports Cards. They've treated me well. And if you're not in a rush to get things on release day, then and pay that that full price, then just wait for a sale. And they have plenty of sales that go on. As is customary of closing off my videos, here's Opening Ugly, where you get to watch me struggle opening some of these darn packs. Oh, hey, before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe to help this channel grow.